I almost forgot. It's Philistine Friday, the new feature here on Baker 3.0. Uh, we talked about Adam and Eve last time. This time we're going to go right back to the very beginning of when God created the world. It it is a fascinating thing with all of the technology that we have now, like digital communications and sort of, it really is the age of enlightenment if we choose to enlighten ourselves. There are so many sort of apocryphal texts that have been discovered, that have been translated from their ancient languages into stuff that we can understand. I know John Thompson mentioned the Anunnaki. You look into that stuff, it is fascinating. The Sumerians, oh my gosh, like nobody even, well, I probably said those two words, and nobody even knows what those are. But just incredibly interesting, uh, just mind blowing stuff that isn't, some sort of weird, legend. Lots of it translates to what we have in our current Bible. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Oh man, there is some incredibly cool um, um, manuscripts out there that you can sort of get lost. I mean, some of it is clearly fables and whatever the case may be, but there's some very cool stuff. Anyway, the point of this one was going to be um, God's wife. Um, everybody, nobody really thinks of him, like everybody thinks of him as sort of the great bachelor, which is absolutely not true. If you read, you can find any translation of this you want. In the first chapter of Genesis, verse 26, it says, "Let us make man in our image." Like, so there's more than one person there. And interestingly enough, that most scholars believe that Asherah is God's wife, who is also mentioned. I think it's mentioned like 50 times throughout the Old Testament, anyway, and sort of relates to wisdom. If you go back and translate wisdom into Greek, back into Hebrew, blah 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 blah, it actually is Asherah, a woman. And we know for a fact that the Deuteronomists that sort of went back and sort of took all those manuscripts, that they removed a lot of the feminine characteristics and the feminine quote unquote God. Because for whatever reason, I don't know. We live in the world where most people hate men. And so, because of the patriarchy, I don't know. Misogyny, maybe. I mean, there's no doubt that those things have been real and are real. I don't think they're systemic. I hate that word, by the way. In our society, like everybody tropes that they are. It doesn't mean they're not problems. I just don't think they're, massive problems that every angry, I won't even say angry person sort of beats the drum on. Anyway, it's a fascinating thing. I highly like. There's no way I can go into it all, but the point is that if you look at that stuff and you just sort of translate it or just sort of apply it to what's your life, you can create your own world if you have the right partner. And God clearly had the right partner. Asherah or Asheroth, like there's a couple different versions of it. They clearly did this together. And in fact, if I'll find it and post it on here. There's one of the world's oldest drawings, and it's of an Asian couple that are sort of. There's a man on the left side, I think, and a woman on the right side, and they're creating the world together. It's fascinating stuff, just fascinating. And I think that translates to in today. We talk about, You know, you can build anything you want if you have the right woman. And, you know, clearly I'm going to, you know, use some subjugation here. And I do think that most women are looking for the right man. Anyway, it's a team effort. You can't do it by yourself. Not even God could do it by himself, is what my point is. And so I think it's important that you find the right partner. I think it's important that you strive for and look to do incredible things in your life, to create your own world that you can sort of master and be in control of as much as you can. You know, I'll harken back to the three great gods that we all serve. You will serve the government, the great Satan, whatever your religious bent is. We all die. Whatever that means to you, I'm going to call it. We all are beholden to Jesus. And of course, the goddess of your life. You're beholden to her. And so whatever that means to you or wherever that takes you, I hope you find that interesting. I encourage you to look up the Anunnaki, the Sumerian texts, and I will post on my story when I find this stupid thing. One of the world's oldest drawings ever. And it is a man and woman creating the world. Fascinating stuff. Mind-blowing stuff. Just incredible. Anyway, Philistine Friday. Have an excellent day. I'm going back to work.